Man oh man, back at it again with one of those off-the-wall JRPGs, but this time, this one is with some action. From the developers Nippon Ichi Software comes Poison Control, a bizarre action shooter JRPG that was released in April 2021 for the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. I am sure you have seen its name or cover before and always wondered, what in the hell is it? And that's alright because I am here to get to the bottom of that. So, with all that being said, I want you to join me on my adventure through it to answer the most important question of all. Was Poison Control good? In order to answer that question, I'll be assessing the gameplay, the story, and its overall replayability, so starting with the pew pew. No, like seriously, that is all you do in this entire game. It is janky and unintuitive until you get a few toxicants or primary weapons under your belt. While ammunition is unlimited for these, you do have to wait for them to reload, which most of the time sucks. The good news is that you can upgrade them, but for a combat system reliant on, shooting, the toxicants don't differ much besides power and shooting speed. The slower the gun, usually the stronger it is. There are also deliriants or secondary weapons you can equip and pick up during each stage that offer a bit more variety in that department until they run out of ammo. Unlike the toxicants, the deliriants, however, do not reload unless you pick up another one. Let me also mention that there are antidotes which can make you more resistant to certain types of damage and or boost the money dropped. And last but not least are the catalysts, which provide your character with passive abilities like being able to shoot on the go, but this specific catalyst makes those shots do more damage once fully upgraded. Weird design choice in my opinion, as your character can do that naturally, just not very well apparently. Anyways, your time is spent bouncing through 26 different bell hells, which is just fancy talk for stages, consisting of these poor girls' inner turmoil that they need help purifying to move on. The poison control part of the game comes into play here as each stage has mire spread across it that your character can clean up to help purify that particular place. The majority of the time, you're just running through these barren stages with poison and boxes spread all around and completing one of two missions that pop up for each forced instance. It is usually clear out X% of the mire or kill X amount of cliché. Cliché, by the way, are monsters manifested from these girls' negative emotions. After about 5 to 6 stages, you then fight a boss and rinse and repeat through the next batch until you get to the end. As I'm talking about this right now, I'm literally wondering, why did I lock into this game if that is all you do? I mean, you fight the same boss with different heads like 4 times until you finally get to the final boss that is actually different. It is incredible to me how clunky the combat is when all you have to do is shoot and dodge. If you are trying to aim, then good luck because that mess is stiff. You want to dodge? Good luck again because that input lag for dodging specifically is dirt nasty slow. And don't get me started with the projectiles in general. Some shoot at the speed of light, while others don't break over 1 mile per hour. But enough about the gameplay. Surely the story is better, right? Well, it starts off with you, who happens to be immortal, waking up in hell. You are still alive, but you have zero memory of how you got there or who you are. Luckily for you, your path crosses with Poisonette, and the adventure begins. To get out of hell and back into the real world, you do some work by purifying the hells of others to earn silver tickets. These silver tickets, after a certain amount, turn into gold ones that are needed to access heaven. So you can then beg to get your life back on Earth. Convoluted much, right? Basically, you help us and we will help you go back to your regular life. I am sure you're like, wow man, sounds like this game sucks. But hold on, for 1 second. The only meaningful part about this product here is in the story, and it does not involve the 5 or so actual characters. It is the girls you interact with through each bell hell that makes it hit different. Some of these stories consist of serious topics involving assault, and these make you feel awful about what these girls have gone through, while others are about some edgy pictures that they didn't want anyone to see. So it is a mixed bag of lighthearted moments followed by some dark and heavy ones. Overall, I am not a fan of the visual novel style presentation of the story, but I can appreciate it for what it was trying to do, aka tell a story with as few resources as possible. But on the flip side, I will say the music is banging. Moving on to its overall replayability, well, there is some stuff to do pre and post game. The majority of the stages before you beat it have golden chests spread across them that can only be unlocked by certain conditions. Once unlocked, they give you a coin, which you need 3 of for that specific stage to unlock a deliriant permanently. This lets you start off with that Deliriant already equipped for the next stage. Post-game allows you to level up all of your personal stats that you originally only got experience for once to their maximum levels. Why? I guess why not? As far as I'm aware though, there are no additional stories or weapons to be had, but you can go back and get an alternate ending if the original one wasn't good enough. Replaying a couple stages is not a steep ask in my opinion, considering that this game took me a little over 11 hours to beat. But with all that being said, I do believe it is time to answer the most important question of all. Was poison control good? No. For a shooter JRPG, the controls, the guns, the dodge mechanics, the projectiles, your mom, and all things mobility-wise are either awful or janky at best. The cleaning up of the poison, though, is a bit satisfying. Story-wise, I do give it a thumbs up on that front, as it is not afraid to address the darker topics many developers would stay away from, but it fails to connect it to the bigger picture. In conclusion, the core issue with this title is that it cuts corners in everything. I'm fine with barren stages and a terrible story as long as the gameplay is poppin'. I am also fine with subpar combat as long as the story behind it is a roller coaster that keeps me locked in from start to finish. I don't ask for much, but somehow Poison Control failed to even deliver that. But I did sit down and play through the entire thing though. So I do suppose it either did something right or something in my mind is just very wrong. Anyways, that's all I've got.